Had you told me a few years ago that I would openly admit to be using an Android phone, I probably would have just asked you to shoot me on the spot. But time goes on, and things really just change. I once considered Apple to be an untouchable entity, merely because the competition was unrefined and unpolished. However, things have changed for the worse. Now there are no options that hold such a high standard of excellence, and this is alarming. We are living in a time of, well, that'll do. But even still, I had to make a decision of what exactly would do for me. I had used Apple for years in all avenues, and some of that will not change. But as far as a mobile platform is concerned, I was growing tired of some of Apple's ideas, or really, lack thereof. The interface had not changed much since my first device in their touch-based world, the iPod Touch version 2. A bit of refinement and stability may have been the biggest change, but even with that, it really only brought new problems. The biggest issue that I want to make known would be iCloud. It's something that's supposed to bring ease and convenience to your device, with an online backup of all your important items. But instead, all I got was hassle and advertisements. It began with a daily message that said I was out of storage and that I should buy more, which I did not care to do. Eventually, it took the hint and stopped asking me after I had turned off most of the service. But really, it's impossible to turn it off completely. For if you ever wanted to download an app, you had to be signed in, which, is understandable, but it led to a multitude of other issues. Over the years, I had ended up with 2 accounts that were, but also were not the same. And because of that, I believe I had caused their system to have a mental breakdown. Practically every other day, I'd be asked to sign back in, only to find that my account would be completely locked out and I'd have to change the password. And then this would repeat a couple of days later. Eventually, I just had enough of this nonsense, and I decided to upgrade to a Google Pixel XL2, a phone that runs the newest Android version Oreo, and I found that it really outpaces the iPhone. I made sure to go with one of the best Android phones on the market to really give the deciding factor to the operating system and not so much the phone's hardware. And as a whole, the operating system is very smooth and it syncs up well with my Gmail accounts as well as my Google Drive and my Google Chrome accounts. So it's like I've owned an Android for years because all my information is there to be used. Now when it comes to apps, I was convinced for the longest time that iOS had the grander App Store. But I was wrong. At least now, there are 4 more things on Google Play than I ever thought existed. I believe some of this had to do with the micro console craze, so there's tons of games that the iPhone will never see, and they're ready to go on any Android device. Some of the other features like Gboard have since made their way to iOS, but as a whole, it's far superior to the typing experience that is on a stock iOS keyboard. The rest of the system seems to be very, very open to the user, which is something iOS is just starting to make its way into. A quick rundown of the hardware I chose also shows that while an iPhone is at the near peak of specs, it sure has a fierce competitor. The Pixel's camera is superior, while just slightly. I've also noticed a difference in the quality. And some of Apple's big ideas, like the thumbprint scanner, are present on this device, as well as some of their other big ideas. The last thing I wish to cover is the newest accessory craze, which is smartwatches. This is a hard subject to cover because most Android watches are iPhone compatible, but not so much the other way around. And while Apple Watch is an incredible little device, I'm very pleased with my little used Gear S2 that I got for under $70. So call me crazy, but I think I will not regret my decision to be an Android user until my next upgrade. But who knows? Maybe Apple will come out with something incredible that I'll want again. But as of right now, the iPhone 7 version 8 and the X are surely not it.